To conceal my identity as an assassin, I married a man who couldn't even bring himself to kill a spider. During a later mission, I encountered the legendary top-tier assassin, Orbit. Behind his mask, his eyes were as cold as frost, and the Glock pistol in his hand was pointed straight at my forehead. But why? Why was the wedding ring I gave my husband hanging from the necklace around Orbit's neck? The moment I finished dealing with the target, a message from my husband, Nathan, flashed across my phone screen. I dragged the body out of sight with practiced ease, then clipped onto the rope I'd anchored to the window frame earlier and rappelled down the side of the brownstone. A black Aston Martin was idling at the curb just as planned. I slid into the passenger seat. Lilith, my handler and getaway driver, tossed a pack of wet wipes into my lap without taking her eyes off the road. I wiped my hands, the sharp scent of antiseptic cutting through the city air. Finally, I unlocked my phone. Nathan had sent me a selfie, a playful shot of him in the kitchen wearing nothing but the apron I got him for Christmas. I softened my voice, holding the phone to my ear. Hey baby, wait up for me, okay? Got held up at work, but I'm on my way home now. From the driver's seat, Lilith made an exaggerated gagging noise. God, Anya, you're disgusting. Aren't you people supposed to be all reserved and stoic? A small smile played on my lips. If you had a husband as sweet as mine waiting at home with a hot meal, you'd be just like me. He's half American, half British, with this ridiculously handsome face and a heart of gold. He has soft black hair, a gentle nature, and a chest I could get lost in. The moment I walked through the door, Nathan was there. Honey, you're finally home, he murmured into my hair. The light in the living room went out. I was getting scared and I don't know how to fix it. I melted into his embrace for a second before pulling away. Don't worry, I've got it. I hopped onto a chair and swapped out the dead bulb for a new one. For a woman whose personal best for blind assembling a Desert Eagle is 22 seconds, it was child's play. But my helpless husband looked at me with pure, unadulterated awe. You're amazing, Anya. I leaned down and kissed him. In my eyes, a man who could conjure up the feast laid out on our dining table was just as amazing. We sat down to eat, and I asked casually, so what did you get up to today, baby? Nathan paused for a beat, a fork halfway to his mouth, then smiled. Oh, you know, watered the plants, did a deep clean of the bathroom, then I started prepping for dinner. I couldn't resist. I snuggled closer, wrapping my arms around his waist and whispering in his ear. Dinner's over, ready for dessert? Without a word, he scooped me up and carried me to the bedroom. But just as his fingers began undoing the buttons of my shirt, he froze. You said you were working late, he said, his voice suddenly tight. Does working late now involve getting a man's tie stuffed in your pocket? My eyes widened as he pulled a wrinkled silk tie from my coat pocket, the murder weapon I'd used to strangle my target 2 hours ago. Nathan held me, tears streaming down his face. What did I do wrong? He choked out. Why would you need someone else? Is it because I don't have a job? I have savings, Anya, a lot. It's all yours. Honey, please don't leave me. His words were punctuated by desperate, ragged breaths, and my attempts to deny everything were lost in shattered moans as he moved against me. All I could do was hold him tighter. The next morning, I tried again, insisting that I loved him, only him, and that I would never, ever cheat. But I couldn't explain the tie. To prove my loyalty, I took the entire week off, clearing my schedule to stay home with Nathan. My life is a tightrope walk over a pit of danger, but I would never, ever allow my sweet, gentle husband to be exposed to any of it. His sadness deepened. Still, he cooked me lavish meals and told me with a determined look in his eye, it's not your fault. I believe you, Anya. You didn't cheat. It must have been some creep from the outside, trying to seduce you. That's why he would do something so sleazy, putting his tie in your pocket. I latched onto the excuse. You're right, baby. It was definitely my creepy coworker, but he has no chance. I can't stand those cold robotic tech guys. I only love you. You're so gentle. You make me want to protect you. Nathan's hand, which had been struggling with a can of tomatoes, suddenly stilled.